Out Dan Wall.
And I'm Laura Lee. Thanks for joining us. Duluth City Councilors tonight took another shot at deciding where to spend millions of dollars.
Now, the vote comes amid disagreement over how to use the leftover pandemic relief funding.
Northern News Now's Cara Kopp was at City Hall tonight and breaks down the outcome.
I would not really feel good if we don't move forward in housing that we know that we can spend money on now.
Debates on how to spend leftover pandemic relief funds ended in Duluth Council chambers Tuesday.
We have an opportunity, I think, to use some of these funds to catalyze economic growth.
That's why all but two councilors ultimately voted to give the nearly $4 million in ARPA money to the Duluth Economic Development Authority, or DEDA.
And we're specifying that it can only be used for affordable housing projects, blight mitigation, and childcare projects within the city.
Forsman says the money will help projects that have hit financial snags in assisting them in getting completed, including some downtown.
And then hopefully, for instance, if we use it to tear down a blighted parking ramp, we're able to put in housing projects, retail, stuff that can go back on the tax rolls.
While the resolution does include funding for affordable housing projects, those at CHUM are saying they wanted the funding to only go towards affordable housing.
That's $3.9 million. It really helped to close gaps for a number of projects that are in the works. And that could
Cole pointing out the growing economic need.
Having more housing opportunities, affordable housing opportunities, would really be beneficial for employers and for the economic viability of the city.
In Duluth, Cara Kopp, Northern News Now.
At the meeting, councilors also learned the city was just awarded $1.9 million in funding from HUD.
The money will also go toward affordable housing. It should arrive next month.